is hosting another informative and important virtual discussion titled Foreign Intervention in Haiti on Sunday, October 22nd, 2023. The program starts at 4 p.m. Our special guests are Mr. Jackson Demerville and Aldine Masson of the United Haitian Council. The aim of the discussion is to examine the ongoing developments and structural issues affecting Haiti, assess the decision to send a multinational security force led by Kenya to, with a stated objective, neutralize armed gangs, protect civilians, and bring about peace, security, and order. And finally, explore Haitian solutions to rebuild and strengthen Haiti's development. To follow the discussion, simply visit our YouTube channel at Unity and Solidarity TV or our Facebook page at Bakari Makaru. One God, one aim, one destiny. So, as we all know, the Caribbean nation of Haiti has been gripped by a number of challenges ever since it took its independence back in the 1800s. For anyone who's been paying attention, even before the untimely assassination of its president, the island was gripped in chaos, poverty, unrest, and widespread protests against a number of issues. And it seems as though since the assassination, it has only gotten worse. Now, to many of us, Haiti holds a very special place in our heart, because if it was not for the Haitian Revolution, possibly the abolition of slavery would have occurred 100 or maybe even 200 years later. So Haiti is very special for many of us in the Pan-African movement, and we see it only fitting to constantly bring attention to this particular issue, as well as to provide information to the broader community as to what's going on there, because ultimately what happens in Haiti will in some way affect us one way or the other. The virtual discussion starts at 4 p.m. and it could run until about 5:30, but you would imagine sometimes when a discussion gets very good, it could go a bit longer, and we'll also do our utmost to entertain questions and comments from the viewing audience. So it could be roughly an hour and a half to 2 hours. The virtual discussion will be streamed via our YouTube channel, and you can find us at Unity and Solidarity TV, all one word, all common letters, right? There you'll see the live broadcast, and you'll also see the live broadcast via my personal Facebook page, which is Bakari Makeru. So if you type that in, you should be able to view the online discussion. Well, we just want to, again, invite your audience to tune in, to listen to the information, and hopefully it adds a bit more context to what we are seeing now, and hopefully it would continue the discussion, especially amongst those of us on the island, as well as the diaspora, as to how we could better assist Haiti in this time in need.
As we reflect on the journey so far, we are reminded that it is indeed a journey and not a destination that we set out upon 13 years ago. One where the focus, needs, and priorities of the people are ever evolving and ever changing. Therefore, as a logical consequence, the focus and priorities of our nation adapts and changes accordingly as well. The establishment of a constitution does not automatically bring a nation into being. A nation does not build itself. It takes all of us within the different communities doing our part for a better society, a better tomorrow. The private sector, government, NGOs, and private citizens working together where necessary in order to achieve that which is desired and necessary for the betterment and advancement of all our people. And this won't come or be handed to us on a silver platter. All of us will have to work at it and for it. The annual celebration of this day is an apt moment for us to individually and collectively ponder on our point of departure, what we have achieved since then, our present position, and the long road ahead, filled with not only challenges, but goals to achieve and celebrate along the way. Because as the Constitution forms the foundation of this nation we aspire to build and are building, our individual and collective desires, necessities, minds, abilities, energy, and talents should form the tools required to further build on that foundation, creating a nation that not only does justice to where we have come from and those that has brought us this far, but also does justice to where we want and moreover need to take our nation and the future generation. Our decisions today determine our circumstances and where we stand tomorrow. Although we may not know what the future has in store for our nation, those that blazed the path to the present state of our nation knew what they had to do to get us here. And so do we also know what we need to do right now for our nation. And that is this, which I implore of you to do not just today, but every day. Decide to aspire for greatness, for righteousness. Continue to rise to the challenge for a better tomorrow. Dare to achieve in excellence in all that you do for the betterment of your home, your community, your nation. And do it for not least of all the coveted future generations of this nation. Building home, building community, building nation, all in the traditional St. Martin spirit of jollification. Remember, we are the artists and architects of our future. That oh so great nation we all hope and dream to become one day requires the individual and collective efforts of us all. But in order for us to achieve it, we first have to believe it, want it, and live it. So take the time to believe, to want, live, and achieve. We are obligated to tomorrow to do what is needed of us today.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rockfalls. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as Jump Up Casino on Emil Plain Road in Phillipsburg, ATLH Road Roundabout, L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park until Cake House Supermarket, Zaker's Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Welchalaken Road K Hill from Welchalaken Road Roundabout until the Wantete Loke Roundabout, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, and Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road, after Sonesto Maho Beach Hotel to the entrance of Cooper Coy from the intersection of the University Drive until the intersection of Rio Grande. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingolf.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
The play is called Spitfire, the Loke story, and I think everybody in St. Martin knows or has heard about Loke one way or the other. So it's a play written by Shuja Ref, and he asked me to direct it, and I gladly accepted the challenge. It's actually a play, around the historical figure of Loke. Everybody knows that Loke was one of these enslaved ancestors on one of the plantations in St. Martin. And she was very rebellious. She had a very burning desire to be free, and she tried to escape on several occasions. Sometimes she succeeded, and she was punished, of course, as usual. One of the punishments that the slave master inflicted on her was to cut off one of her breasts. And I think from there you got this whole thing of calling her Wantete Loke, but we prefer to redeem her humanity, because she wasn't born with one breast. She was born with two breasts, and it was the brutality of the slave system, the evil system of slavery, that made her lose one of her breasts. Coincidentally, of course, this month of October is also breast cancer month. So the significance of the breast, of the female breast, is further enhanced by the fact that we're doing this play in a month like this. That was not originally the idea, but everything just conspired to make it happen this way. What can I say about the characters? This is a play about life on two plantations on St. Martin. So the characters are all those on the plantation, including the plantation owners, the slave masters, and of course the enslaved population, which was usually much larger. Amongst the population, you have young children, you have older people, male, female, and in this cast, we have a cast of about almost 40 people to bring this story to life on stage. We're performing the play at the Garden at Bellevue. That's owned by Tuza Jabash. Yeah. And that used to be a plantation itself. Right? So we're trying, it's an open air performance. So, and we'll be there for 3 days. That'll be next week, Friday. That's Friday, October the 27th. Saturday, October 28th. Both days, the play will start at 8 p.m. prompt. On Sunday, we'll have an earlier performance at 6 p.m. That's Sunday, October 29th. Those are the 3 days for the performance. We urge everybody out there to get their tickets on time and arrive at the venue on time. At 5 to 8, I don't think would be allowing anybody to enter anymore, because at 8 o'clock on the dot, the play will start.
My question is based off of Parliament, independent members of Parliament, and the party system. I understand that almost every election we've had members of Parliament declaring themselves independent, and that contributes to instability one way, shape, or form. Now, my question is this: would it be possible in some way to have a change where the member of Parliament who is disgruntled with his party, his or her party, no longer wishes to be associated with the party, instead of having the right to declare themselves independent, they don't have that right. They're only allowed to either work it out with their party or resign, or maybe some sort of stipulation where they are suspended member of Parliament and the next person comes in line. Thus, that way, that disgruntled member of Parliament is not going to contribute to declaring themselves independent, government falling, all those sorts of things. And I understand that this could be a problem even on a constitutional level, but even if the Constitution has to change to appease something like that, again, would it be possible?
The question is a question that has been addressed before in the same manner, with the same solution that you are suggesting. In fact, in the room here, we have former Prime Minister William Marlin, who exhaustively pursued that to bring about that change on the basis that the system we have goes from the premise that only political parties can participate in an election. Individuals cannot come and sign up and say, I want to be in a party. No, you have to form a party with articles of association, with a democratic process as to how the political party is going to operate. The problem arises when you've had an election, people are appointed to the seats that they earned from that election, and then the court appointed for 4 years in Parliament. And in the process, somebody gets disenchanted and decides, I don't want to be with that party no more. And the person actually did not meet the voting quota, so really did not earn a seat. But the law in the system we have assign seats to a party even with somebody who gets 100 votes or 200 votes. And exactly those persons are the persons who, for personal interest, there's no party loyalty or party efficient. That's why I said that the problem lies with the party in the selection of the people that they want to put as candidates on a list for an election. Because if you do not pick somebody who's really a member of your tribe, human nature is as such that everybody seeks their own personal benefit. And if they can declare themselves independent, having been awarded a seat in Parliament, the question is, can that person go with the seat, which he has gotten legally and for 4 years, because you don't lose your seat in Parliament. You can be voted out as minister, but you can't be voted out as a member of Parliament. So you have that seat for 4 years. And now you're in a position where, for personal reasons, you're going to go to another party and says, man, let's throw the government, and then I'm going to appoint you as minister and make sure you take care of this for me. And that is the problem that we have with ship jumping. That ship jumping, because of the system, that people can be appointed and earn a seat in Parliament based on the number of votes they have on the list, that you cannot take away the seat from them. And former Prime Minister William Marlin fought this all the way to The Hague to get the Constitution changed. And eventually, that was denied. It was denied based on what The Hague says, because if you want to change the Constitution, all the countries in the kingdom have to get together, that the free mandate of a member of Parliament who has been appointed 4 years, you are trampling on. So we're back to square one.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to keep in mind to help keep you and your family safe. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak occurring between mid-August and late October. This hurricane season, be sure to put together a go bag. A disaster supply kit including a flashlight, batteries, cash, first aid and supplies, medications, and copies of your critical information if you need to evacuate. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
We are following breaking news. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan has lost a secret ballot over whether or not he should drop out of the race for House Speaker. Sources say 112 House Republicans voted for Jordan to remove himself as a candidate. 86 voted in favor of him remaining in the race. Now, prior to the secret ballot, Congressman Jordan lost a third vote for Speaker of the House. He has received fewer votes for the top House job in each succeeding round of voting held this week. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott McFarland joins us now from Capitol Hill. Scott, I know you have been following every twist and turn of this. Does this now mean that Congressman Jordan is out of the race for House Speaker?
He will no longer be a candidate for House Speaker. He will not be the next House Speaker. This was, from the start, a political quicksand battle for Jim Jordan. The more he fought, the more he twisted, the more he tried to get himself out, he sunk deeper and lost support. In a closed-door meeting as the afternoon began, they took a secret ballot vote as to whether he should even stay in the race. Jim Jordan lost the secret ballot vote pretty overwhelmingly, so he's done. And the U.S. House, partly exhausted, partly frustrated with each other, potentially enraged at each other in some cases, has decided to take a 72-hour recess, leave town, come back Monday evening and try this all over again with new candidates, somebody else besides Jim Jordan or Kevin McCarthy. I asked Kevin McCarthy a short while ago who those other names are. He wouldn't say. We know just one of them, Kevin Hearn of Oklahoma, has expressed interest in running. Earlier in the week, a man named Jack Bergman of Michigan, a military man, said he'd be open to pursuing a run. We'll hear some more names as the weekend goes by, but there will be a candidates forum, again, Elaine, behind closed doors, come Monday evening here at the Capitol.
And Scott, I know it's early. You mentioned those early names as potential contenders, but is it clear that any of those may actually have support, enough so that they could win a vote?
They have a couple things going in their favor, a couple things going against them. Let's start with what's going in their favor. There truly is frustration and exhaustion that this has dragged on so long, and a palpable sense they got to reopen the House. They are missing important duties, and this looks terrible for House Republicans. So that may help any would-be candidate who comes Monday night. Also, fresh names, fresh faces may have less friction with some of the factions inside the House Republican Conference. But that's the downside, too. There are several factions that have formed and really firmed themselves up through this process. There's a trail of bad blood, metaphorically, in the hallways behind me because of what's going on inside this own Republican family, this Republican conference. And whoever is the next candidate is going to have to deal with that, too.
So given that acrimony, Scott, is that the reason for this 72-hour sort of timeout here? The House not meeting again until Monday, as you said. It's been without a leader for more than 2 weeks. Some might say, well, why not push through? Why don't these members go through the weekend to try to come to some sort of resolution?
And Jim Jordan supporters were telling us that today. They were telling us right there on camera that Jim Jordan should get back out there, try to knock down the number, try to win over some support. But it didn't seem like that was possible. The opposition seemed bulletproof. But should the rest of the House stay and try to hash this out over the weekend? If they're trying to cool the temperature and ease the tension, staying here on a weekend is rarely a way to get Congress to cool off and ease tensions. This is the second straight weekend, Elaine, where they are having a weekend cooling off period. Let's see if it's more effective this time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any of these dynamics have changed. Scott McFarland on Capitol Hill. Scott, as always, we thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.